Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to Srila Prabhupada Book Reading Club. So we are reading the Lord Chaitanya, his life and teachings. So let's start our class with a Mangalacharan by offering our prayers to our acharyas, praying for their mercy so that we can little understand this book. Otherwise, we don't have any capabilities to understand the books. ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरं मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपं कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपथकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवाञ्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहित कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्विताञ्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद नमो ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात देशतारिणे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। So, Hare Krishna Mataji and Prabhuji. So, uh, let's take a summary. Firstly, preface we learn about what are the six symptoms of surrender. We only say that I have to surrender, but what are the six symptoms of surrender? Then we also learn that what is Krishna is absolute. So there is no difference between Vrindavan Dham, his Naam, Roop, Leela. There is no difference. Then we learn about the basic, like who is the father, mother of Lord Chaitanya, and who record childhood pastimes is recorded in a Chaitanya Bhagavat, and his teachings are recorded in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Then we read about the advent of Lord Chaitanya, then Lord's mission, then Anna Prasanna ceremony, Lord's childhood pastimes, his student life, Lord propagates the congregational chanting, how he take the a social march on the Chand Qadi's house. Then the Lord spreads his preaching activity, deliverance of a Jagai Matai, miracle at the house of Srinivasa. We can see the how Lord from the seed out of season, even mangoes are out of season, but big tree grows, and the mangoes are so big and so juicy, and they don't have seed inside and they cover outside. So then Lord accept the sannyasa, the Lord at the house of Advait Prabhu, the Lord's journey to the Jagannath Puri, the Lord take the darshan of a Jagannatha, the Lord become unconscious in the ecstasy of love, Lord at a Lord at a Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's house. So when we Lord take the when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is moving towards the Jagannath Puri, Nityananda Prabhu broke his sannyasa danda stick, sannyasa stick. So Chaitanya Prabhu was little angry. So like he leave his all the associates, and he alone come to the Jagannath Puri. And like when he take the darshan of Lord Jagannatha, he become unconscious in ecstasy. And like everyone was uh, he was making drama, like let's put him outside the temple. But the head pujari Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya knows these are the real aesthetic feats, and like he want to study the aesthetic feats. So like if anyone imitate or make the fake feats, so he can understand. So like Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya takes the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at his home, and then we under like then yes, then Bhauma Bhattacharya teaches the Vedantas. Then Lord explain about the Vedanta Sutras, because Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is like a Maya, is a kind of a Mayavadi, or they are not giving the direct meaning of a Vedantas, but like it's little misinterpretation of Vedanta Sutras. And then Lord explained the Vedanta Sutras as it is. And yes, like Lord says that indirect interpretation of Vedanta Sutra by so-called Vedantist, like even like you have a lot of knowledge about the Vedas, and but you don't know the real purpose of Veda, and you are simply understanding the process and follow the process. You are simply think yourself a big scholar, then it is none of use, if any none of any use. Because okay, I know the out of 720 shlokas, I know the 700 shlokas, but if I'm not applying the shlokas in my life, then it is it is no use. Like even you are learning the many shlokas, at least like learn one shloka and you have to follow in your life. That's the motto of our reading station. Na? If you are coming, you have to take one point from this purpose and books, and you have to apply that point in your life. Then you will be slowly advanced. So we can see now today is the 56th day. Like from the starting, if you start applying the one point till now, like you have applied the 56 instruction of Srila Prabhupada. So yes, now we are moving to the Vyasadeva's explanation. Okay. Hare Krishna Vinod Prabhu, you can
Yes,
start reading.
Mataji. Okay.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Vasudeva's explanation is authorized. The Lord continued, Shri Vasudeva has summarized the direct meanings of the mantras in the Upanishads, in the Vedanta Sutra. Unfortunately, you do not take their direct meaning. You are indirectly interpreting them in a different way. The authority of the Vedas is unchallengeable and stands without any question of doubt. And whatever is stated in the Vedas must be accepted completely, otherwise, one challenges the authority of the Vedas. The conch shell and cow dung are bone and stool of two living beings, but because they have been recommended by the Vedas as pure, people accept them as such because of the authority of the Vedas. The idea is that one cannot set his imperfect reason above the authority of the Vedas. The orders of the Vedas must be obeyed as they stand, without any mundane reasoning. The so called followers of the Vedic injunctions make their own interpretations of the Vedic injunctions, and thus they establish different parties and sects of the Vedic religion. Lord Buddha directly denied the authority of the Vedas, and he established his own religion only for this reason. The Buddhist religion was not accepted by the strict followers of the Vedas, but those who are so called followers of the Vedas are more harmful than Buddhists. The Buddhists have the courage to deny the Vedas directly, but the so called followers of the Vedas have no courage to deny the Vedas. Although indirectly they disobey all the injunctions of the Vedas, Lord Chaitanya condemned this. The examples given by the Lord of the conch shell and the cow dung are very much appropriate in this connection. If one argues that since cow dung is pure, The stool of the learned Brahmana is still more pure. His argument will not be accepted. Cow dung is accepted, and the stool of the highly posted Brahmana is rejected. The Lord continued. The Vedic injections are self authorized, and if some mundane creature adjusts the interpretations of the Vedas, he defies their authority. It is foolish to think of oneself as more intelligent than Shrivilya Vasudeva. He has already expressed himself in the sutras, and there is no need of help from personalities of lesser importance. His work, the Vedanta Sutra, is as dazzling as the midday sun, and when someone tries to give his own interpretations on the self effulgent sun like Vedanta Sutra, he attempts to cover the sun with the cloud of his imagination. The Vedas and Puranas are one and the same in purpose. They ascertain the absolute truth, which is greater than everything else. The absolute truth ultimately ultimately realized at the absolute personality of Godhead with absolute controlling power. As such, the absolute personality of Godhead must be completely full of appearances, strength, fame, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation. Yet the transcendental personality of Godhead is astonishingly ascertained as impersonal. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes, Gunashri Mataji can read.
Krishna Mataji Pranam. The personal feature of the Lord is the supreme and the last word. The impersonal description of the absolute truth in the Vedas is given to nullify the mundane conception of the absolute whole. Personal features of the Lord are completely different from all kinds of mundane features. The living entities are all individual persons and they are all part and parcel of the supreme whole. If the part and parcels are individual persons, the source of their emanation must not be impersonal. He is the supreme person amongst all the relative persons. The Vedas inform us that from him, Brahman, everything emanates, and on him everything rests. And after annihilation, everything merges in him only. Therefore, he is the ultimate dative, causative, and accommodating cause. Hare Krishna Mataji. Cause of all causes, and these causes cannot be attributed to the impersonal object. The Vedas inform us that he alone became many, and when he so desires, he glances over the material nature. Before he glanced over the material nature, there was no material cosmic creation. Therefore, his glance is not material. Material mind or senses were unborn when the Lord glanced over material nature. Thus, evidence in the Vedas proves that, beyond a doubt, the Lord has transcendental eyes and a transcendental mind. They are not material. His impersonality, therefore, is a negation of his materiality, but not a denial of his transcendental personality. Brahman ultimately refers to the personality of Godhead. Impersonal Brahman realization is just the negative conception of the mundane creations. Paramatma is the localized aspect of Brahman with all kinds of material bodies. Ultimately, the Supreme Brahman realization is the realization of the personality of Godhead according to all evidence of the revealed scriptures. He is the ultimate source of Vishnu Tattva. The Puranas are also supplementary to the Vedas. The Vedic mantras are too difficult for an ordinary man. Women, Shudras, and the so called twice born higher castes are unable to penetrate into the sense of the Vedas. And thus, the Mahabharata and the Puranas are made easy to explain the truth of the Vedas. In his prayers before the boy Sri Krishna, Brahma said that there is no limit to the fortune of the resident of Vrujabhumi, headed by Sri Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mai, because the eternal absolute truth has become their Hare Krishna, intimate relative. The Vedic mantra maintains that the absolute truth has no legs and no hands and yet goes faster than all and accepts everything that is offered to him in devotion. The latter statements definitely suggest the personal feature of the Lord, although his hands and legs are distinguished from the mundane hands and legs or other senses. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Snigdha Mataji. Can you read?
Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. The absolute truth is never impersonal. Brahman, therefore, is never impersonal. But when such mantras are indirectly interpreted, it is wrongly thought that the absolute truth is impersonal. The absolute truth, personality of Godhead, is full of all opulences, and therefore he has a transcendental form of full existence, knowledge, and bliss. How then can one establish that the absolute truth is impersonal? Brahman, being full of opulences, is understood to have manifold energies, and all these energies are classified under three headings under the authority of Vishnu Purana 6.7.60, which says that the transcendental energies of Lord Vishnu are primarily three. His spiritual energy and the energy of the living entities are classified as superior energy, whereas the material energy is an inferior one, which is sprouted out of the ignorance. The energy of the living entities is technically called Kshetrajana energy. This Kshetrajna Shakti, although equal in quality with the Lord, becomes overpowered by material energy out of ignorance and thus suffers all sorts of material miseries. In other words, the living entities are located in the marginal energy between the superior spiritual and inferior material energies, and in proportion to the living being's contact with either the material or spiritual energies, the living entity is situated in proportionately higher and lower levels of existence. The Lord is beyond the inferior and marginal energies as above mentioned, and his spiritual energy is manifested in three different phases as eternal existence, eternal bliss, and eternal knowledge. As far as eternal existence is concerned, it is conducted by the Sandhini potency. Similarly, bliss and knowledge are conducted by the Radhini and Samvit potencies, respectively. As the Supreme Energetic Lord, he is the supreme controller of the spiritual, marginal, and material energies. And all these different types of energies are connected with the Lord in eternal devotional service. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is thus enjoying in his transcendental eternal form. Is it not astounding that one dares to call the Supreme Lord non energetic? The Lord is the controller of all energies, and the living entities are parts and parcels of one of the energies. Therefore, there is a gulf of difference between the Lord and the living entities. How then can one say that the Lord and the living entities are one and the same? In the Bhagavad Gita also, the living entities are described as belonging to the superior energy of the Lord. According to the principles of intimate correlation between the energy and the energetic, both of them are non-different also. Therefore, the Lord and the living entities are non-different as the energy and the energetic. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and ego are all inferior energies of the Lord. But the living entities are different from all as superior energy. This is the version of Bhagavad Gita 7.4. The transcendental form of the Lord is eternally existent and full of transcendental bliss. How then can such a form be a product of the material mode of goodness? Anyone, therefore, who does not believe in the form of the Lord is certainly a faithless demon, and as such is untouchable, a not to be seen persona non grata fit to be punished by the Platonic king. The Buddhists are called atheists because they have no respect for the Vedas. But those who defy the Vedic conclusions, as above mentioned, under the pretense of being followers of the Vedas, are verily more dangerous than the Buddhists. Sri Vyasadeva very kindly compiled the Vedic knowledge in his Vedanta Sutra. But if one hears the commentations of the Mayavada school as represented by the Sankara Sampradaya, certainly he will be misled on the path of spiritual realization. The theory of emanations is the beginning subject of the Vedanta Sutra. All the cosmic manifestations are emanations from the absolute personality of Godhead by his inconceivable different energies. The example of the touchstone is applicable to the theory of emanation. The touchstone can convert an unlimited quantity of iron into gold, and still the touchstone remains as it is. Similarly, the Supreme Lord can produce all manifested worlds by his inconceivable energies, and yet he is full and unchanged. He is Puma, complete. And although an unlimited number of Pumas emanate from him, he is still Puma. The theory of illusion of the Mayavada school is advocated on the ground that the theory of emanation will cause a transformation of the absolute truth. If that is the case, Vyasadeva is wrong. To avoid this, they have skillfully brought in the theory of illusion. But the world or the cosmic creation is not false, as maintained by the Mayavada school. It simply has no permanent existence. A non permanent thing cannot be called false altogether. But the conception that the material body is the self is certainly wrong.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Sharmila
Krishna.
Mataji, you can continue. Thank you, Mataji.
Krishna,
Hare
all
Krishna.
glories to Srila Prabhupada. Pranava, Om, or the Omkara in the Vedas, is the primeval hymn. This transcendental sound is identical with the form of the Lord. All the Vedic hymns are based on this Pranava Omkara. Tattvam Asi is but a side word in the Vedic literatures, and therefore this word cannot be primeval hymn of the Vedas. Sripada Shankaracharya has given more stress on the side word Tattvam Asi than on the primeval principle Omkara. The Lord thus spoke on the Vedanta Sutra and defied all the propaganda of the Mayavada school. The Bhattacharya tried to defend himself and his Mayavada school by jugglery of logic and grammar, but the Lord defeated him by his forceful arguments. He affirmed that we are all related with the personality of Godhead eternally, and that devotional service is our eternal function in exchanging the dealings of our relations. The result of such exchanges is to attain prema, or love of Godhead. When love of Godhead is attained, love for all other beings automatically follows, because the Lord is Hare Krishna, the sum total of all living beings. The Lord said that but for these three items, namely eternal relation with God, exchange of dealings with him, and the attainment of love for him, all that is instructed in the Vedas in superfluous and concocted. The Lord further added that the Mayavada philosophy taught by Sripada Shankaracharya is an imaginary explanation of the Vedas, but it had to be taught by him, Shankaracharya, because he was ordered to teach it by the personality of Godhead. In the Padma Purana, it is stated that the personality of Godhead ordered his Lordship Shiva to deviate the human race from him, the personality of Godhead. The personality of Godhead was to be so covered so that people would be encouraged to generate more and more population. His Lordship Shiva said to Devi, in the Kali Yuga, I shall preach the Mayavada philosophy, which is nothing but clouded Buddhism, in the garb of a Brahmana. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Muttamanikam Prabhu, you can read.
Hare Krishna
Thank you,
Mataji.
Mataji.
Devotional service is the highest goal. After hearing all these speeches of the Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Bhattacharya was struck with wonder and awe and regarded him in dead silence. The Lord then encouraged him with the assurance that there was no cause to wonder. I say that devotional service unto the personality of Godhead is the highest goal of human life. He then quoted a sloka from the Bhagavatam and assured him that even the liberated souls who were absorbed in the spirits and spiritual realization also take to the devotional service of the Lord Hari because the Mataji, because the personality of Godhead has such transcendental qualities that he attracts the heart of the liberated soul too. Then the Bhattacharya decided to listen to the explanation of the Atma Rama sloka from the Bhagavatam 1.7.10. The Lord first of all asked Bhattacharya to explain it, and after that he would explain it. The Bhattacharya then explained the sloka in a scholarly way with a special reference to logic. He explained the sloka in 9 different ways, chiefly based on logic, because he was the most renowned scholar of logic of that time. The Lord, after hearing the Bhattacharya, thanked him for the scholarly presentation of the sloka, and then, at the request of the Bhattacharya, the Lord explained the sloka in 64 different ways without touching the 9 explanations given by the Bhattacharya. Sarvabhuma Bhattacharya surrendered to the Lord. Thus, after hearing the explanation of the Admarama sloka from the Lord, the Bhattacharya was convinced that such a scholarly presentation is impossible for an earthly creature. Before this, Sri Gopinatha Acharya had tried to convince him of the divinity of the Lord, but at the time he could not so accept him. But the Bhattacharya was astounded by the Lord's exposition of the Vedanta Sutra and the explanation of the Atmarama Sloka, and thus he began to think that he had committed a great offense at the lotus feet of the Lord by not recognizing him to be Mataji. To be Krishna himself. He then surrendered unto him, repenting for the past dealings with him. And the Lord was kind enough to accept the Bhattacharya. Out of his causeless mercy, the Lord manifested before him first as 400 Narayana, and then again as 200 Lord Krishna with a flute in his hand. Sarvabhuma Bhattacharya glorifies the Lord. The Bhattacharya at once fell down at the lotus feet of the Lord and composed many suitable slokas in praise of the Lord by his grace. He composed almost 100 slokas in praise of the Lord. The Lord then embraced him, and out of transcendental ecstasy, the Bhattacharya lost consciousness of the physical state of the life. Tears, trembling, throbbing of the heart, perspiration, emotional waves, dancing, singing, crying, and all the side symptoms of trance were manifested in the body of Bhattacharya. Sri Gopinatha Acharya became very glad and astonished by this marvelous conversion of his brother-in-law by the grace of the Lord. Out of the 100 celebrated sloka composed by the Bhattacharya in praise of the Lord, the following two are most important, and these two slokas explain the mission of the Lord in gist. Let me surrender unto the personality of Godhead, who has appeared now as Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is the ocean of all mercy and has now come down to teach us material detachment, learning, and devotional service to himself. Since pure devotional service of the Lord has been lost in the oblivion of time, and the Lord has appeared to renew the principles, and therefore I offer my obeisances unto his lotus feet. The Lord explained the word mukti to be equivalent to the word Vishnu, or the personality of Godhead. To attain mukti or liberation from the bondage of material existence, is to attain to the service of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. So tomorrow we will like hear the summary of this whatever we have read. Now we can move to the Kartik special class Mukund Mala Stotra. Okay. So we are on shloka number 19. And in last shloka, we learned that yes, Archa Vigraha is not like a simply ideal worship. Krishna has incarnate in many forms. The one of the form is Archa Vigraha. Krishna personally come in Archa Vigraha to accept the service of his devotees. And like while we are performing the Archa Vigraha services or sevas, we have to observe our mind in the form of a Lord. And we also see here we don't have to care about what society will think about me, log kya sochenge. We have to think on this what Krishna will think, what Srila Prabhupada will think. And yes, there is no use of increasing comforts of your life when you are simply increasing comforts of your life, but you don't have a time to practice the Krishna consciousness or practice the spirituality. Then everything goes in the loss. So for the scholars or for intelligent people, they prioritize the spirituality. So we learn about the tripod of life: morning for Krishna, day for work, and evening for a family. So, Hare Krishna, who wants to read? Vinod Prabhu, are you there? Hare Krishna. Am I audible? Yes, Sharmila Mataji can read.
Hare Krishna. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. That head is the loftiest, which is white with dust from bowing down to Lord Krishna. Those eyes are the most beautiful, which darkness has abandoned after they have seen Lord Hari. That intelligence is spotless, like the white glow of the moon or a conch shell, which concentrates on Lord Madhava, and that tongue rains down nectar, which constantly glorifies Lord Narayana. Purport. Devotional service to Lord Krishna gradually spiritualizes and beautifies all one's senses. Ordinary people may not see how a Vaishnava is being transformed, for only a devotee can appreciate the actual beauty of other devotees. Therefore, Srila Rupa Goswami cautions us in his Upadeshamrita 5 against judging a devotee superficially. One should overlook a devotee's being born in a low family, having a body with a bad complexion, a deformed body, or a diseased or infirm body. According to ordinary vision, such imperfections may seem prominent in the body of a pure devotee. But despite such seeming defects, the body of a pure devotee cannot be polluted. It is exactly like the waters of the Ganges, which during the rainy season are sometimes full of bubbles, foam, and mud, but which remain pure and thus able to purify one who bathes in them. Often, however, the transforming power of devotional service is dramatic. Srila Prabhupada would sometimes recall how, when he first met many of his future disciples, they were dirty, morose hippies. But as they took to Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada said, they became like bright faced angels from Vaikuntha. In the course of the Lord's pastimes, the Lord will sometimes personally cause dramatic changes in his devotees' bodies. As Lord Krishna entered Mathura, he met a young hunchback girl who anointed him with sandalwood pulp that had been meant for King Kamsa. And in return for her service, the Lord straightened her body and changed her into a beautiful girl. Similarly, Lord Chaitanya instantly cured the leper Vasudeva. The ultimate bodily transformation takes place when a devotee gains his Swarupa, his spiritual body, and enters the spiritual world to worship the Lord in Vaikuntha. A devotee becomes beautiful by humbling himself in the dust as he offers obeisances to the Lord. By contrast, a proud person who is trying to impress the opposite sex with his or her so called beauty will avoid bowing in the dust. But King Kulashekara recommends it as a kind of beauty treatment. True beauty means that which is pleasing to Lord Krishna. The devotee's eyes become beautiful by seeing the most beautiful form of Krishna. A reflection of Krishna's radiance shines in the eyes of devotional mystics. Those who saw his divine grace, Srila Prabhupada saw his radiance in his eyes. The spotless intelligence referred to here is one that is cleansed of all doubts and filled with pure faith in the Lord. One who has attained such clear buddhi, spiritual intelligence, is peaceful and is able to solve all problems, both his own and others. Therefore, the devotee's intelligence is likened to the moon, whose cool, soothing beauty can be seen and appreciated by everyone in the world. Similarly, the tongue of one who glorifies the Lord is said to shower down a rain of nectar, which, like the moonshine, is available to all without distinction. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. So yes, yes, we see now devotees don't restrain their senses from the sense object, but what they do, like how they control the senses, they engage the senses in Krishna's service, and how we can be engaged. Srila Prabhupada guide us. The head is the lowest, which is the white with the dust, by bowing down to the Lord Krishna. With our head, we have to bow down to the Lord Krishna, and those eyes are the most beautiful, which darkness has abandoned after they have seen the Lord's Hari. So with the eyes, we have to see the beautiful form of a Lord Hari, and those eyes are most beautiful who can see the form of a Lord Hari. And the intelligence is spotless, like a white glow of the moon or a conch shell, which concentrate on the Lord Madhava. So, yes, we are simply going in a temple and we are simply looking, and then we are not meditating upon the form of Krishna, then this is none of any use. But we have to use our intelligence, we have to use our eyes, and we have to fully focus on Krishna's. Like when you go in a temple, like on the deities, we have to see their ears, their earrings, their how they are decorated with the dots, and we can see their garlands, what kind of flowers you are used in a garland, how his feet are decorated with the a tulsi leaf, and with the dots, and what kind of pile Lord Krishna is wearing. So you have to see the every detail, and you have to print that form in your heart. So this is the meditation. And yes, we have to use our tongue, yes, Krishna always give us independence. We can, you every time we have the choices. So we have the choice to speak about the Gramin Katha, simply speaking nonsense or gossiping about the mundane things. And then we have another chance to glorify the Lord, to glorify our Lord, to speak, to preach the Lord's mission, to speak the Bhagavad Gita shloks, or to simply repeat what our Acharya has said. So when we speak about the Krishna, and then it's like a nectar, it's like a rainfall of a nectar. And in Shastras it is said that our lifespan will decrease by the two things. What are the two things? First is the overeating. When you eat more and more, like then your age, your lifespan decreases, because when we eat more and more food, your cells divide faster. And when cells divide faster, some chromosome length decreases, and so there are so your lifespan also decreases. There is certain number of that your cell will be divided this much time only, and after that you start getting old. So we can also see now, overeating person, they naturally start looking old. So overeating. And second is over speaking. When you speak about the material things, when you speak about mundane things, then your lifespan decreases. Because when we speak now, we make the offenses, we may do the sinful activities, when we do the ninda, and when we blaspheme the other people, our punya decreases. And when we and when someone other and our punya goes to their account, and their papa come in our account. So why, what is need to make the ninda, and blaspheme or gossiping about the others? And when we speak about the Krishna, it is not calculated in a speaking, it will increase your life, because you are glorifying the Lord. So yes, we have to take care of this. We don't have to speak nonsense or mundane things, or we don't have to gossip, because it is like whatever things like they are becoming impediments between Krishna and us, like we have to give them. Like even if you are feeling the jealousy about someone, like you are not going to get the Krishna. You are doing everything, you are following every spiritual activity, but if you have the envy, jealousy, or anger for any other person, like you cannot get the Krishna, because like temple is all clean. Where when Krishna stays somewhere where is a place is all clean. When we have the anger, dirt of anger, lusty desires, and jealousy, envy, so Krishna, that is a dirty place, and in dirty heart, like Krishna doesn't like to stay. So we have to purify our heart. So yes, we have to use our tongue in a glorification of Krishna. We have to use our eyes to meditate upon the Krishna's form. We have to use our intelligence to remember what Krishna has said. By following Krishna's instruction, we have to glorify the Lord. Yes, and we have to use our head to bow down to the Krishna's form. And yes, uh, only like one who practice the devotional service, like who is trying to become a devotee, he can understand how what is the significance and what is the importance, and how glorious devotees is. As Nama Prabhuji says, na, like uh, if you are picking the 100 kgs, then only you understand, like if someone is mm, like a uh, someone is lifting 1000 kg, then only you can appreciate. But you are not lifting even a 1 kg, and then how can you appreciate someone who is uh, picking up the 1000 kg or 1 ton? So like only devotees can glorify the devotees, or like material people will think, okay, what nonsense they are doing, like instead of doing sense gratification, they are living everything, there is no enjoyment, but they are in illusion. Like devotees think like other peoples are in illusion, and other people think our devotees are mad, they give up everything. So yes, like we don't have to judge the devotees superficially by overlooking that they are born in a lower family, or their body color is a very dark, or their body complexion is not good, or they have deformed bodies. Many the Guru Maharajas and like a Maharaj, when they give the diksha, they accept the sins of their disciples, and like whatever sins they commit, like it is all taken by the Guru Maharaj. So we have to be very careful to not commit any sinful activities or offenses when we are taking the shelter and initiation. So because of taking the sins of these people, like they have many diseases like cancer, and maybe kidney or liver failure, and many cancers. But because of compassion, they take the sins of their disciples. And many times they do the leelas just to show that, like, even if you have the many problems, then also you can practice the spirituality. So yes, we may see the many defects in their body, but their body is not a material body. Their body is a spiritualized, and it is in a rainy season, water seems a little turbid, and it is a little brownish of a Ganges water, but it doesn't mean that it is in brown in color, so that like it is not purify. It's not going to purify. Yes, it is like after some time it will be clear again after the rainy seasons, and like there will be foam, bubbles, and mud, but it do not so when there is a mud, and then we cannot say this is not pure. If you take the bath in that water also, you will become purified. And yes, we have seen that's why we don't have to offend anyone. Like even they are very new in a Krishna consciousness, we should be respectable towards them. Why? Because we can see the hippies, like they become a very great devotees. So like in starting they may not very good, or like not even on a human platform, they are very dirty. But like with the time, when they associate with the pure devotees, when they associate with the Krishna, they changes themselves and they become the pure devotees also, not even in this life but in many lives. So it's like we have to be respectable towards everyone. We shouldn't like get the pride, okay, I'm staying in the Krishna consciousness for the 10 years or 5 years, so I am the senior. No, seniority is not by the age, or seniority is not by the like how much time you are staying in the Krishna consciousness. Seniority comes with your realizations, how much you serve, and how much your internal change has happened. So seniority is not just by the like a change or like a by the like Nama Prabhuji said, like in our ISKCON, like seniority is just by 1 month. Like in other like on other schools and colleges, it is by 1 year, na? But in our ISKCON, like in special ISKCON Mangalore, it is by the 1 month, because like every month there is new batch, na? So yes, we shouldn't be proud for any things, because Krishna just hate the proud. Even like he leaves the gopis, and like he even the Brahma get the pride, he remove the pride. If Indra get the pride, he do the Govardhan Leela and all these things. So we Krishna just hate when we get the pride, because why we have to pride? Everything is given by Krishna. You have to utilize in Krishna's service. And then what is yours to get a proud? Even this body, you haven't created this body. Have you designed your body? Okay, I want this color of body. I want 5 fingers, or like like you haven't manufactured your body. It is given by Krishna because of our karmas and Krishna's mercy. So we have to be grateful towards the Krishna. So yes, whatever your assets you have to engage in Krishna's service. And yes, like when we associate with the Krishna and the pure and the pure devotees, our bodily features also change. Like like Krishna in Mathura, Krishna met a young hunchback girl. Like she was carrying the sandalwood pulp for King Kamsa, and like Krishna asked her, and like she gave the sandalwood pulp. Then like in return, the Krishna reciprocate. In return, he straighten her body and make her very beautiful girl. Even the Lord Chaitanya cure the leprosy of Vasudeva. And when we try to advance in spirituality, like slowly we start getting the spiritual body. And devotee becomes a beautiful by humbling himself to the dust. He offers the obeisances to the Lord. So like everyone is trying to become beautiful, like by applying creams and that. But natural glow comes when you start practicing Krishna consciousness, when you follow the brahmacharya, when you chant the Hari name, like a holy name and Hari's name. Then like you naturally try like become beautiful. You don't have to apply the creams, and you don't have to take the treatment. And like yes, we have to offer the obeisances to the lotus feet of Krishna. And that is this in this way we can become a devotee of like a very beautiful. So this is the beauty secret of a like or a beauty treatment of a devotee. They don't like apply the creams and other things, but they simply like humble themselves by and offer the obeisances. And like we are offering obeisances, it's not simply like a mechanical by body. Offering obeisances means we have to accept the instruction, and we have to use the instruction in our life. So, like obeisance simply not just mean by the pancham and dandvat pranam. When you are offering pranam, means you are offering yourself to Krishna, and when you are offering yourself to Krishna, means you are accepting. Okay, whatever instruction Krishna you will give, I will follow the instructions. And yes, like the spotless intelligence is refer here, one that cleansed all doubt and filled with the pure faith in Lord. So yes, we see the story of a cobbler and the Brahmana. So cobbler have a full faith in Krishna, and like he is free from any doubts. Krishna can do anything. So yes, like we should have a faith in Krishna. And one who attains such a buddhi, spiritual intelligence, is a peaceful. So one who has like who has the firm faith in Krishna. Okay, Krishna is a all controller. Krishna is a owner. Like nothing belongs to me. Whatever happening in my life is because of Krishna's mercy, or Krishna wants this to be happen. Krishna wants to purify me. Like when you have full faith in Krishna, like and you don't like mentally speculate anything. When you have full faith in Krishna's plan, then you become naturally become peaceful, because whatever happening is under the control of Krishna, and it is happened by Krishna's will. So why I should worry? Krishna will protect me. Avishya Rakshibe Krishna. So we have to depend on Krishna. So yes, when we have the full faith in Krishna, when we surrender to Krishna, then we become peaceful and is able to solve all the problems, even the material problems, spiritual problems we can solve. Not only ourselves, but like we can solve the problems of other, because we are a peaceful and we are totally dependent on Krishna's mercy and totally depend on Krishna. And yes, we have to use our tongue not to blaspheme or not to gossip or not to speak any mundane things, but we have to use our tongue to to glorify the Lord, to glorify His devotees. Hare Krishna, Sudha Mataji, you can continue. So we are on the 20 shloka.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams. Translation: O tongue, praise the glories of Lord Keshava. O mind, worship the enemy of Mura. O hands, serve the Lord of Shri. O ears, hear the topics of Lord Achyuta. O eyes, gaze upon Sri Krishna. O feet, go to the temple of Lord Hari. O nose, smell the tulsi buds on Lord Mukunda's feet. O head, bow down to Lord Adokshaja. Purport: here the poet orders each of his senses to cooperate in serving the Lord. The spirit soul is higher than the senses, and so it is right that he should order them. Indriyani paranyahur indriyebhya param manah manasastu para buddhir yo buddhe paratastu saha. The working senses are superior to dull matter, mind is higher than the senses, intelligence is still higher than the mind, and he, the soul, is even higher than the intelligence. Bhagavad Gita 3.42. Texts 19 and 20 of Mukunda Mala Stotra call to mind a series of verses by Shaunaka Rishi in Srimad Bhagavatam 2.3, 20 to 24. One who has not listened to the messages about the prowess and marvelous acts of the personality of Godhead and has not sung or chanted loudly the worthy songs about the Lord is to be considered to possess ear holes like the holes snakes live in, and a tongue like the tongue of a frog. The upper portion of the body, though crowned with a silk turban, is only a heavy burden if not bowed down before the personality of Godhead, who can award mukti, freedom from birth and death. And the hands, though decorated with glittering bangles, are like those of a dead man if not engaged in the service of the personality of Godhead, Hari. The eyes, which do not look at the symbolic representations, deity forms of the personality of Godhead, Vishnu, are like those printed on the plumes of the peacock, and the legs, which do not move to the holy places where the Lord is remembered, are considered to be like tree trunks. The person who has not at any time received the dust of the feet of the Lord's pure devotee upon his head is certainly a dead body, and the person who has never experienced the aroma of the tulsi flowers decorating the lotus feet of the Lord is also a dead body, although breathing. Certainly, that heart is steel frame, which, in spite of once chanting the holy name of the Lord with concentration, does not change and feel ecstasy, at which time tears fill the eyes and the hairs stand on end. Each of our senses may help us or hinder us in devotional service. If we allow even one sense free rein, it can seriously distract our mind, just as a gust of wind can sweep away an unanchored sailboat on the ocean. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has senses, and so do we. And our perfection lies in serving Rishikesha, the Lord of the senses, with all of our senses. We may engage our senses in the service of Krishna or in the service of Maya, illusion. The choice is vividly shown in the verses by Kulashekara and Shaunaka Rishi. For example, our sincere singing, Kirtana, may please the Supreme Lord and evoke his mercy, or our materialistic songs will resemble the frog's croaking, which attracts the predator snake, death. Similarly, we may be beautified by bowing our head before the Lord, or that same head, burdened by ornaments and pride, will drag us down into the ocean of birth and death. A person in a high social position is often too proud to humble himself before the deity in the temple. In that case, he'll be pulled down by his own pride, just as a man who falls overboard in the ocean is pulled down by his heavy clothes and headdress. In Lord Chaitanya's time, King Prataparudra set the perfect example for a wily leader by performing the menial service of sweeping the road before Lord Jagannath's chariot. In this way, he showed his subordination to the Almighty. One can best serve the Lord's senses by serving his devotees. Srila Prabhupada states, Krishna is the property of his pure, unconditioned devotees, and as such, only the devotees can deliver Krishna to another devotee. Krishna is never obtained directly. Bhagavatam 2.3.23. Purport. A disciple should therefore use his senses to perform all kinds of services for the satisfaction of his guru. We should engage not only our senses but also our mind in the Lord's service. The mind, after all, provides the impetus for the actions of all the bodily limbs. So, thinking of Krishna is the basis of all devotional service. As the Lord instructs in the Bhagavad Gita 9.34, Man mana bhava madbhakta, think of me and become my devotee. The mind fixed in chanting and praying to Krishna will change the heart, which will transform the conditioned soul into a pure devotee. A pure devotee, therefore, is one whose body, mind, and words are all merged in devotional service to Krishna with no room for illusion. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, like, we can see now how beautiful purpose and like how beautiful these slokas are. Like, if we simply follow the one instruction, like after like 50, 60 days, after 1 year, like you can see like what kind of changes come in your like on yourself. Like, yes, everything is given now. Like, we simply have to follow, but like we are not following because of our lethargy, and like we still have that desire now. Okay, if I do this if I do this material thing, I will be happy. We are still not convinced, like, because when you are convinced, you will follow directly. Now, you no one there is no necessary to say like you have to do this and that. You automatically do. You automatically search. Okay, you automatically read the Srila Prabhupada book. You automatically do the kirtan. You automatically hear the hari kathas. But like someone has to come and someone has to tell us like you have to do this, and like after telling also we are not doing because we are not convinced. Now we still have, okay, if I do this, like I will be happy, but this is the illusion. Even after knowing that this is the illusion, like we are still not convinced. So yes, like we have to use our tongue by to glorify the Krishna. We have to use our mind to worship the Krishna, the Mura, enemy of a Mura, yes, Krishna like killed the Mura demon. And we have to use our ears to hear the topic about the Achyutas, to hear the Harikatha. And we have to use our eyes to gaze upon the Sri Krishna. We have to meditate upon Krishna through our eyes, like we have to see the entire form of Krishna. And the nose we have to use to smell the tulsi birds, so like we are offered to Krishna. You know, these four Kumaras, from the Mayavadis, they become the pure devotees simply by smelling the tulsi leaves. And like we have to use our head to the bow down to the Lord Krishna's lotus feet. But when we are not using our senses in Krishna's service, then we are considered as a dead bodies. And like this hairs we from which we cannot hear the harikatha, then they are considered as a holes of snake. And like a tongue is like a frog, and when a frog croakle, when you are not speaking the harikatha from your mouth, it is like a croaking of a frog. And when snake of the death will come, and there it is going to eat you. So yes, we have to engage our senses in Krishna's service. And yes, it is said that legs which are not going to the holy places, they are considered as a tree trunk, because tree trunk they don't move na? And yes, the person who has no time to receive the dust of a lotus feet of Lord's pure devotee upon his head is a certainly dead body. So, yes, here we are speaking about we have to become a dust of lotus feet of Krishna. We have to accept the dust of lotus feet of a pure devotee. It doesn't mean that you have to go to the pure devotee and you have to put your hand under his legs and you have to take the dust and you have to apply on your head. No, what the dust significance, like what is meant by taking the dust of lotus feet of pure devotee, means you have to follow the instruction. You have to follow the instruction of Krishna. We have to follow the instruction of Guru. So this is mean by the taking the dust. So it is not physical process, it is a mental process, and it is an internal change. So yes, you don't have to go to your Guru Maharaj and take the dust and apply on your head. You can hear his lectures, and whatever instruction he is giving, you have to follow it. So yes, we have even the and yes, this is Nama Prabhuji most of the classes says in a Bhagavatam, when you are chanting the holy name and we are not able to concentrate, and we are not feeling the ecstasy, their tears are not coming down from that our eyes, and our hairs are not standing on the body. It means our heart is just still. So we are not feeling that when we are chanting there is no tears, means our heart is just still. And Krishna won't stay in the steel heart na? Our heart should be like a honey. So Krishna will come and whatever love we have, it will be like a nectar, or it is like honey. Krishna will taste that honey. But like when it is made up of steel, then like how there will be honey. So yes, currently, especially for me, I don't feel I don't have realization. So my heart is like a steel. So we have to engage ourselves in devotional service of Krishna, and like each of our senses may help and hinder. Okay, like when our senses are controlled, so we can engage them in Krishna's service. But when our senses are not in control, like they will distract us. Okay, what is necessary to eat the prasadam? You can take this. These gulab jamuns are so good, or like you can eat the fast food. It is okay at once. Like I can take the onion garlic in a week, or like I'm outside. There is no how I can get the offer food. Like, okay, you don't have offer food, you can buy the fruits and you can mentally offer, or on your screen you can take the photos of Guru Parampara Krishna, and like you can offer on your phone also. Like because Krishna is absolute, he is also present in a form of his photos. So like you can offer the fruits like in fruits there is no onion garlic. So like we always make the excuses rather than finding the ways. Like you can take the curd, you can offer the milk to Krishna, and like you can have that milk. And like like there are some devotees, like they are very firm to follow the instruction of Srila Prabhupada, and we are very firm to neglect the instruction of Srila Prabhupada. You can, there is the electric kettle and like electric cooker, it will be like this much size. They carry this, and like they mix some pre-mixture for like khichdi and all things. They simply make the then simply make the prasadam offer to Krishna and then eat it. They don't give excuses like me or like us. So like they find the ways to serve Srila Prabhupada. They find the ways to follow the instruction of Srila Prabhupada. They don't find the ways to or they don't find the excuses like us or like me. So yes, like when we when let our senses do freely what they want, they become stronger and stronger, and they don't listen to intelligence. And yes, so yes, what is it? Yes, and Krishna is a property of his pure devotee. Like Krishna is the supreme lord, he's the owner of everything, but he get scared by simply seeking, like seeing the stick in the hand of Yashoda Maya. So why he's fearing? Because like he is a property of Yashoda Maya. Like he sell himself for the like love of devotee. Devotees can purchase the Krishna only through the devotional service and through the love what they have for Krishna. So like if I have the 5 rupees, then only I can give you 5 rupees. If I don't have 5 rupees, then like I cannot give. So pure devotees inside their heart, they have Krishna, because they are constantly remembering Krishna. So they can give you Krishna. So while initiation, when we are taking initiation, the superior the pure devotees of Krishna, they give their heart, they give their Krishna in our heart. But like when you don't maintain when you don't follow the instruction, if you don't follow the rules and regulation, if you don't chant, then your initiation naturally get cancelled. Okay, it is not official. Okay, you have to come, you have to perform yajna, then your initiation will be cancelled. Because like Krishna forgives. Pure devotee forgives. They are more compassionate. Like they will forgive once, twice, thrice, even the 1,000 times. But Krishna sees, okay, you are cheating my pure devotee. Okay, one time I can forgive, second time I can forgive, third time I can forgive. After that, you are only offending my pure devotee. Then like Krishna don't forgive. Even a pure devotee forgive, Krishna won't forgive. So we have to very strict about following rules and regulation. So like when you are not following rules and regulation, even after initiation, means your initiation will be naturally get cancelled. So we have to be careful to follow the instruction of Guru. So only the pure devotees, they can give us Krishna. So we cannot approach the Krishna directly. Even whatever sevas we are offering, even in the altar. So like we are not that much capable, or that we can directly offer. We give to our guru, guru give to his guru, and then in this chain of a disciplic succession, it is go to the Radharani, and Radharani offers to the Krishna. So yes, we have to engage our mind and our senses in Krishna's service, and like we can control our senses by controlling our mind, and we can control our mind by strength, like by making intelligence more and more stronger. And how to make the intelligence stronger, more and more stronger? By chanting the holy name and by reading the shastras. Our intelligence becomes stronger, and from that stronger intelligence, we come to know this is the right, this is wrong, this is the Prabhupada's instruction, this is like a, this is not instruction, I shouldn't do this. So like this will give you a discrimination power, what is good and bad, and from that you can control your mind. And from the mind, when you are able to control your mind, okay, I, this is wrong, I don't have to do, this is final. As a Prabhu, like as a Nama Prabhu said na, like I don't have to drink, no means no. So like there is no question, like whatever kind of advertising we are seeing, no means no, so we are not going to do that. So this kind of a determination comes when we chant and read the shastras. So chanting and praying to Krishna will change our heart, and it will transform the conditional soul into the pure devotee. Currently, we are suffering from the material disease. We are in an illusion that I am this body and I will be happy. Like even I am not this body, but I will be happy in this body. So this is not true. So like this, there will be transformation from the conditional soul to the pure devotee. But we have to fix our mind in a chanting and a praying to the Krishna and hearing to the Shastras. And most important, we have to simply follow the instruction of Srila Prabhupada. So from tomorrow, we will start the 21 shloka. Sarita Mataji is saying something in the chat.
Hare Krishna. Yes,
Okay.
Mataji. So, Mataji, once you chanted 108 rounds, right? So I just wanted to know, like, how was the experience? And like, because for sure, like, we find difficult to chant even the 16 round properly, right? And then you chanted 108 round. Obviously, you have the ruchi. You have got that ruchi. Otherwise, it's not possible. So, what was the experience like? Was like after doing so many rounds, like, can you share your experience? Because
Oh,
I've heard like
actually,
the real
Mataji,
phase starts
like
after some food.
yes, I just then when we have to do for like ourselves, we don't do, but if we are doing for our Guru Maharaj and for our family members, then like that naturally that enthusiasm come. You know, like it's not like that. My mind was not distracted in starting. Like for I completed 16 rounds, then I completed the 32 rounds. My mind will say, okay, you have completed your daily quota. You can rest now. Like why? What is necessary to do to chant? But like there's like your intelligence should be stronger. Okay, I have to do it for my Guru Maharaj, or I have to do it. It's like there was purpose, because my I have to like chant for my Guru Maharaj so he can feel well, and like he can continue his pre-reaching. So there is purpose, so there should be why I have to chant. Like when your why is clear, then it is easy for you, and like you don't have to hear your mind now. Like mind will say get up from the place, drink the water, or roam around. Or if like the mind will distract you simply by taking the phone. When you take the phone while chanting, then forget about the chanting. Your mind will be distracted, because mind don't want to concentrate upon the lotus feet of Krishna. So you have to pull back your mind again and again, and you're like, okay, I have to complete my 16 rounds, I'm not going to get up. So there should be determination, Mataji. Like and you have to you don't have to listen to your mind at any cost. Even Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said like in the morning you have to beat your mind with the like broom, and like at night before sleeping you have to beat your mind with the chappals. Because like because of this mind we are going we are changing our bodies, and like because see, like okay, like take a simple example. I want to read the books, and like what my mind will say, books, reading books is not good na, like it is little boring, it's better to watch some reels or watch some shorts on YouTube. Like mind will always give you some what we say, so mind will always distract you. Mind is like when mind will your friend when we become a pure devotees, and now we are not pure devotee means like mind will simply harass us, and like mind is the enemy of us, so we don't have to hear to our mind. Even we are preparing bhoga, it will like mind will say na, like oh, like what if there is a little sugar, and like there is no proper salt, you can taste it, then you can offer, but this is not good. So like we don't have to hear our mind at any cost, we have to hear our intelligence. and it will become stronger when you read the scriptures and when you hear the harikatha. So I was like, I just hear, I hear from the senior devotees, like when you chant more like around the 25 rounds, and after 25 rounds it is easy. So like I also seeing the devotees who are chanting like 108 rounds, even 164 rounds on Ekadashi. So I get inspired by them. It is not like you are doing by own self. No, like when you see the your senior devotees and they are already doing these things, then you also feel now like, oh, this devotees can do, then why I cannot do? Like because of my laziness, I'm not able to do. So like you have to give up your laziness for the Krishna, and you have to engage your mind and senses, and you, like when you cross the 25 to like a 32 rounds, then it will be easy for you, because we are in a sync. Our whatever desires or whatever thoughts in our mind, they start clearing. And like when like it is my experience, when we chant more on Ekadashi and eat a little prasadam, like there is energy inside your body, and like even your sleeping reduces. So when you like more you involve in spiritual activities, your eating and sleeping decreases. And like this is the reason, like this is the thing now, Vrindavan six Goswamis and even the pure devotees, like they are able to chant because they are constantly remembering the Krishna, so their bodily needs naturally decreases. So like that determination come now. Okay, I can chant this 108 rounds. Next time I can increase my rounds more. And like you have that confidence. Okay, I can do this for Krishna, for pleasure of Krishna. And like yes, 108 is like doing the yajna, and like so it is a very good if you are doing for your Guru Maharaj. So it is our like it is our na, like we are doing for Krishna, and like there should be why I'm doing. And like yes, you have to simply fight with your mind, and like you have to neglect, you should learn to neglect your mind. And like experience is so good, Mataji, like you will be energized for next 1 week, even the more than that time. Then the next time, like when you complete such a spiritual target, so like you when you fast nirjala on the Ekadashi, Pandavya nirjala Ekadashi, then we have that confidence. Okay, I can keep the nirjala fast for Krishna's pleasure. And like though next time when your mind will harass you, then we can say to mind, okay, that time we have done, so this time we also can do the same fasting. And like when you chant, like firstly, it is very hard to chant the 4 rounds, but when you chanted 4 rounds, then we will find it easy. Like then we slowly move to the 16 rounds. So like now 16 rounds is easy for us, like when you are practicing from long time. So like there are many devotees who chant the 64 rounds. Even the Rashmi Mataji, she daily chants the 64 rounds. Even like the devotees who are attending her Bhagavatam class, they also chant around the 25 rounds daily. So it is like, it is our like what limit you are putting. If you are thinking, if I chant the 16 round, everything is done, so I'm finished for a day, then you won't you don't want to improve yourself. But like when you think that okay, 16 round is a minimum limit, and I can find out like 15-20 minutes and I can chant one more round. And like when you complete the target, now I can like 25 rounds or 50 rounds or 100 rounds or 108 round or 164 rounds. Like your mind knows that okay, you have this much capacity, or you can increase your capacity to this. And like then it when you have to chant for the next time, then you like when mind will start harassing you, okay, you have completed 15 rounds, and from you cannot go further, that this is your capacity. But like you can tell your mind, no, last time I chanted the 108 rounds, then like why you are getting tired at like 50 rounds, we have to chant more. So like this enthusiasm will come when you follow the regulative principles, and like when you follow the instruction of Srila Prabhupada, and like when you don't listen to your mind. Like mind will harass you, okay, what is necessary to chant today, we can like we can chant on a Saturday or a Sunday. Like today's round we can postpone to tomorrow. No, like we don't have to hear to our mind, we have to be very firm to follow the rules and regulation. And from this enthusiasm will become. And like enthusiasm will also come by association, because I'm associated with like one group where they are saying like on Ekadashi they put like how many rounds they have chanted. So there are always like 160 round, 184 rounds, like 164 rounds, like even like a 108 rounds, and I was very surprised how they do. So like that time I decided, okay, I also have to do. So this like like association, our desires and habits come now, like by seeing them, okay, they are also doing. And also I have heard from the in many kathas that like devotees, what they do, like how many ekadashis in a month? There are two ekadashis. So what devotees do, they take the day off on ekadashi, and like and Saturday Sunday they cover these 2 days. And like on Ekadashi, they take the break from the office and other works. And like they start from the one night before, like they start chanting, and like next morning, like they generally wake up at 2 a.m. From 2 a.m. to 4:30, they chanted the 16 rounds. After Mangalarti, they again chant 64 rounds. So 32 rounds are already over, or like at the 7 a.m. 7 a.m. they already chanted the 32 rounds, so they have the rest of day to chant. And like generally they don't do any other sevas, or they they dedicatedly chant. But if you're having the temple seva, and if you have the Archa Vigraha at home, so like we have to worship the Archa Vigraha. So like it is about making time. And like when you like, can you imagine if like if you wake up at a 2 a.m. on Ekadashi day, so like till 7 a.m. you can chant the 32 rounds. So like the rest of the rounds you have the entire day to chant. And like in this time we have to minimize the like other things, like unnecessary things, going to the bank, and uh, cleaning the house. Other things, like we don't have to invest like ourselves in a lot of things. Like we have to keep it simple. You don't have to make like a lot of like a lot of bhogas, like yes, of course you have to do it for Krishna, but like for a family also, like they start making the sabudana vada and all of this. It will consume a lot of energy na? Like Ekadashi is for the meditating upon the Lord. You have to read more, you have to hear more, you have to chant more. So like for the sense gratificatory things, we have to reduce the things. Then we will find the time to chant. It is all about the managing, Mataji. Like when you manage your lifestyle, then you will find time to chant more and hear more. So Mataji, you will feel like when you chant the 108 rounds, like you will be there is satisfaction. Okay, I just do it for the pleasure of my Guru Maharaj, and for pleasure of my like Gaur Nitai. I do as their service. And like like when you chant 10 round, and when you have that pride, okay, I have chanted this 108 rounds, then you are like 108 rounds are totally wasted, because you don't have you don't have surrender to Krishna, and you have that pride. And pride Krishna don't like the pride, so it will be wasted. You like more you chant, more you become humble. And like more you serve, more you become humble, because like when a tree is full of fruits, like it's poured down. So like when you get some spiritual realizations, you bow down. You are not proud. I chanted this much. I read this much. Oh, I like finished this book. Oh, like I hear this much katha. So this proud is not good. Like in our our association also, we like we can learn the two things. Okay, if someone is really doing good, like we can take the inspiration from them. And if someone is like having a lot of proud and like jealousy and envy, this kind of things, so we can take out from them ki, like we don't have to be like them. Like we shouldn't have this much this bad qualities. So yes, like we have to associate with our senior devotees, like hear their realizations. And from the association this desires come, from the association this enthusiasm come. Hare Krishna, Mataji. I think I'm able to say, like, answer your question.
Yes, Mataji. That was actually wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you for the sharing.
Yes. Yes, so today we can end here. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Happy
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Conscious Day.
Mataji,
Please
Hare
engage
Krishna
yourself,
Hare
Prabhuji.
your
Krishna,
senses
Prabhuji.
and mind in Krishna's service. And if Prabhupada is so merciful, he has told us now, like how to engage our eyes, nose, everything Prabhupada is told us, but we simply have to follow. So we don't have to be lazy anymore, because we don't know this human form is real. We don't know till what time we will stay in this body. So we have to utilize, and everything is given by Krishna. So we have to utilize in Krishna's service, not in sense gratification. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna
Hari
Mataji.
Hare
Bol.
Krishna Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare